My message to the black community: it matters little about whether you're black, white, or some other ethnicity. You cannot be okay with what's going on in America right now. Many of you either know someone or going through hard times at this time. Many are deciding whether they eat or have a place to sleep. Gas stations and grocery stores are now a life or death decision. If you wanted criminal justice reform, you're seeing it every day with police quitting for their civil rights, which represents our civil rights, over a forced jab mandate. Do you feel more secure or safer now over this? You're trying to go to the news now to tell how bad things are in your community today. Now you're finding out also that those news agencies don't have the staffing to inform you about the dangers that doesn't deal with the pandemic. They also don't have the staffing to deal with exactly what's going on in your community, so the story isn't being told, but you're seeing it right in front of your face. We all face problems from this pandemic. Many of you questioning whether you was being told the truth at the expense of your youth. Too many are being used to being lied to and won't accept the truth. This isn't about politics because your plight has homegrown roots. The teacher that taught you to get where you are is gone. So who's left to teach the class? Waiting times at the hospital and getting adequate treatment got harder. The likelihood of death from a lack of basic services has basically became the new norm. Someone suffocating can't wait longer hours without air. It gets deep, and I hope people listen. You going missing unless police to stop the trafficking. They said our schools are safe, but they took away your right to be involved in your child's education. Don't forget the assault. They arrested the father after his daughter was raped. Did you know there's a law that schools don't have to report the rape? How about the black man called the cold-blooded killer for taking out an active shooter and saving lives? Spent months fighting for his life in the prison. Now let me flip it back. What would you do if you was a father and a grown man went to the ladies' restroom? And would you call that a minor infraction? If your neighborhood was already bad, you know it has gotten a lot worse. I'm not going to lie to you. The more you lie about your conditions, the longer it takes to improve them. As a community, they have been playing us for far too long. Your way of voting for Democrats has been the wrong way. Most don't have $600 in their bank account, and they want to tax that. The very community leaders and pastors and Democrats that gave away the church wanted Ralph Northam to resign over Mr. Blackface are the same ones supporting him right now. They follow the paycheck and not represent the people. The goal isn't to get you to take a jab, it's to find out what select few can get you to do it. Power is influence more than anything, and they are use whatever influence they have in that community, even though the person who's influencing you is doing it for money, not doing it for your safety. The last weapon you have to defend your independent and free mind is to accept the truth. Democrats have been using you to pass their own agenda that doesn't include you or nobody else here in America. What you call them protecting black people is modern day slavery of all people. If they can't force you to take a jab or influence you into taking a jab, then you'll be okay selecting what else that they could put inside you. I don't care how much you don't like somebody. I'm not special, I'm included. Can you really say you can survive another 4 years? What I'm talking about is what has happened in the last 7 months under Democrats. Do you want to have a life of pure anarchy where you can't even walk down the street or raise a family and have to worry that they're not going to make it to their first birthday and you're scared for them to live to see their second birthday because things went from bad to worse and what else is left after that? And that's pure hell. We have to decide on who is going to be our next leader because we've seen the failure in leadership and most of y'all voted for improvement and now you're seeing exactly what's going on in America. It's not just black people starving. It's not just middle class being put in the poverty line. This is all about basically control and power and influence and knowing exactly how to break you. And that's exactly what we are voting against. That's what we are fighting against. We don't have to come to your community and lie to you because you already have enough politicians and so called leaders doing it for them, not for you. Because each time frame they tell you change is coming, have you seen change even happen to your front door, let alone be worried about who's going to come in your back door? And that could get deep. The fact of the matter is, America is in a Great Depression. Everybody in it is fed up. And the only ones who are telling you that everything is good are those being paid. How many people really want to lose their job when they resign? Where's their income coming from? That's why they are not resigning, even though they know they should resign. The ignorance and the incompetence is all over DC, all over your state capital, all over this country. With so many that says that they know what's best for you. They are running this country just like they have shown you over and over again that they are not there for you, they are there for themselves. I'm not telling you to vote Republican or conservative or Democrat. I'm telling you to vote based off of what you're going through right now. And do you want to continue in this direction? And who is the ones in power now that is causing this nightmare? Because if you keep voting for this, if you're already struggling right now, what's 4 years? Can you wait even another day? Because many of you are starving right now. And I'm not just talking about black people. But the fact is, there's representation, enough representation in all ethnicities, all races, all genders to say this cannot continue. And now you still have these same paid flunkies, these same paid hacks coming to you every single time talking about this and talking about that. They don't tell you, oh, a transgender could take a scholarship away from a woman. But do you see that transgender taking a scholarship away from a man? See, it's deeper than that. But sometimes people have to actually get punched in the face with the truth because they so used to being nicely lied to. The fact of the matter is, when we was growing up, this wouldn't have been acceptable. This wouldn't have been allowed regardless of Democrat or Republican, what is going on right now in this country without somebody trying to act. You probably all saying, what took this guy so long to even pay attention? What took the Democrats so long to get a chance to pay attention? And you know why they wasn't paying attention? because they didn't want the attention of paying attention. They all know at this time frame that America is on life support. In many communities, the life support has been plugged and they're living on the streets in tent cities. That's the reality. Downtown Norfolk, ran by Democrats, they got plenty of those. Some don't even have a tent city because they can't even afford in that city to even provide a tent, let alone pay for the police or the food that goes with it. And you know that too well because that's the truth. That's the truth on the streets. They just don't want the news coverage. So news coverage and perception is worth more than starving families because I guess that gives them a different type of perception that they don't want. So I want you to think hard, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, with how you feel about America. If you are afraid to get more worse news tomorrow because you're barely dealing with the bad news that you are getting today, the only way to change that from happening is to change the people who are responsible and in control of how that day goes. And if it continues to get worse and worse and worse, maybe the addiction is you accepting worse. But we in the Republican Party expect things to get better. But we can't do that unless people wake up to the truth and vote their conscience. Vote exactly what's in the best interest of you and your family. Because after a while, somebody's saying there's going to be better days, and you see far worse days than ever before, while they still keep saying a better day is coming. After a while, you need to have a deadline that says, I'm no longer going to keep giving you chance after chance after chance. I can't afford it anymore. My family can't afford it anymore. My friends can't afford it anymore. And my neighbors, because all of these different categories of people I mentioned are all affected, including you. So vote Republican and vote out those who keep lying to you and lying to you and lying to you instead of giving you the truth. That they have no clue of what they're doing and how to fix this mess. When they say America deserves better, yeah, they're right. It deserves better than them. God bless you. My name is Merle Rutledge for Virginia State Senate, District 7, 2023, and giving out tough love, not only to the black community, but to the world.